Hi and welcome to Solitas webinar. Let's wait a few minutes before starting so everyone willing to attend are able to get online. Okay, it's minute past 10 and I think that we have much to say, so let's start on time. There's already over 80 attendees online. Welcome you all. The topic today is how Fabric changes Power BI governance and how to manage different types of Power BI developers and users. Solitas webinar with cooperation with Microsoft. My name is Jenny Linna. I'm working in Solita as people lead of analytics consultant and as an account lead, and I'll be your host today. We have two presentators. First one is Reetta Lempiäinen. She's working as senior analytics consultant here in Solita, and her topic is how to manage your Power BI developers and users. Second speaker is Anna Ranta from Microsoft, and she's going to discuss how to unlock seamless collaboration, enhance security, and drive innovation in your organization. So Reetta is going to tell how you should have been doing the Power BI governance already, and Anna is going to add some details about Fabric and what is going to change or what additional things have to be considered when Fabric is going to be on live. Feel free to ask questions in chat or comment anytime that you have any questions on your mind. We try to reserve time for those questions in the end of this webinar. First, I'm going to say a few words about Solita. We are a growing company, founded in 1996, and we work basically in whole IT sector area. We do software development, strategy, data, design, cloud, and connectivity. We work in 7 countries. There's over 1,800 employees in Solita and over 20 cities in Northern Europe already. And yeah, when we are designing and developing products or services for our clients, our aim is to be with our client whole the journey. So basically, we start by defining and designing services, then we build data and infrastructure, and then we develop the software or services. And well, basically, the journey is not done when the actual project is done. We aim to the situation that we can support and you know develop further and maintain those digital products that we have been creating for our clients, so that it brings business value most of during the whole journey of the digital product. Our values are really important in Solita. Basically, we want that everyone are doing their job with passion. We are easygoing organization. Everyone in Solita can be who they are. We don't have to pretend anything. And caring is basically, everything. It's shown in our everyday life. We care each other. We care our customers, colleagues, and our families. Families are also in Solita in a way. And we are a courage organization too. We dare to challenge each other. We dare to challenge our customers and ways of working. And as a Microsoft partners, for example, we are Azure Data Analytics and AI Partner of the Year in 21 and 22. We have been creating over 500 projects with Microsoft's tools, and we have over 300 Microsoft certificates. But that's about Solita. Now I'll give turn to Reetta, and Reetta can start her presentation.
Yes, thank you, Jenny. I will share my screen like this. And hello, everyone from my side also. Nice to see or hear that there is so many there on the line. Yeah.
I think that now we see the presentator mode. If you can share the presentation mode.
Okay, hold on.
Don't worry, I have done it many times by myself.
Yeah, I forgot to press one button. Hold on, right now. And now you should see the whole screen.
Yeah, now it's there. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Let's then start going on. I will take my pointer here so that I can help you to follow. Subject related to, as Jenny was saying, that Power BI has been there quite long. Usually there is already, or there is actually many organizations are using that already, and this is the things that we here in Solita see, that this is the way you should look at that, how you are now governing the environment, how well is your governance model at the moment. And the idea is that take a look at these first before you start looking what Fabric is bringing. So that would make the journey a little bit easier, that you will have these things in correct way before taking something new into the environment. So how would be an ideal Power BI environment? We see that it should be reliable. The environment, it is just working. You have consistent report layouts. You have good data. You don't have any data leaks from there. And on the other hand, it's efficient, so that you will not pay any extra. So the solutions are well built, well developed, and the maintenance is easy to do, and the further development is also easy to do. What we also have seen in the customers, that the complexity of the environment can be different. As you see in this picture, the more you have data sets, or nowadays semantic data model or models, the more complex is the environment. And same goes of course the more you have reports and workspaces, the more complexity there is to handle and govern in the Power BI environment. Other aspect is coming from the users. The more you have users, that makes a little bit more complexity. And of course, the more you have Power BI developers in the environment, that will bring different kind of solutions. And this one is just pointing out that if you have an environment with different regions, that also increases the complexity. As I was saying, many organizations already is using Power BI, but of course you can be in a different adoption phase in the journey. You can also be in the phase that you are just starting to think of that, hey, this is looking quite good BI tool. And usually it starts with few people trying things, and at that point there usually is not that much need for governance yet. But quite soon, when it's seen in the organization that this is a good tool and more people are getting involved, it is usually understood that, hey, we need to sit down and think of some sort of ways of working, how we govern this environment so that it will not get out of control, so that we can understand what is happening there. And then the most major phrase, sorry, my voice, major phrase is that you are starting to see that, hey, we really are using this a lot. We have different kind of skilled people. Maybe we could create this center of excellence team taking care of the more technical part or more difficult parts. There would be standard processes to monitor the environment in different aspects. And people are using widely the functionalities. There will be channels and communities to share knowledge and to enable collaboration, and also these repeatable practices and ways of work. Then we thought about here in Solita that what we have seen in customers, what are the challenges in Power BI administration, and these are the things that we recognized as areas. As said, many users, developers, we say that might create a little bit chaos. We also seen that ownership of the data sets and reports are sometimes missing. And we see also that the product development phase, it's fast and it's really exciting to see all of these new functionalities and the product is getting better. But of course, it's also making it a little bit hard to keep up all the time. Then this is more general one, how to find good data. We'll come back to that a little bit later on. The knowledge sharing might be missing. I will tell a little bit about the collaboration later. And then, of course, there are a lot of setups in admin portal, many connections. There can be performance and capacity decisions that you need to make, and the licensing. These we will not go that deeply, just shortly about these at the end of my presentation. So, best practices for Power BI administration or admin person in your organization. These are the topics we will take a look at: the governance policies, training and support related issues, environments related issues, collaboration, version control, centralized content management, portal documentation, access control, and continuous monitoring. You can follow these in the presentation in here on the right top corner. So, do you know your Power BI developers and the users? Like here in the picture, in a traffic, there is a very different kind of people. There is slow walking pedestrians that could be in Power BI environment. Those Power BI viewers, they are looking and they don't have that wide skills. They are just looking the reports, consuming the reports. Then there could be a little bit fast moving self-service developers, like here, the bicycle or motorcycle person, or there can be actually somebody doing really large solution with heavy equipment in the same environment. So this is the starting point, that you should know who is doing there and what. In here, Solita, we divided these different kind of users into three different. Oh, now I lost my presentation. Sorry. I will put it back. Can you see again?
Yes, it's we can see well.
Okay, but now it jumped to the wrong slide. It's somehow lost. Sorry. Let's go back. I was here. So these three groups we have. And the first one is the end user group. And as I said, these are the ones consuming the reports or the dashboards. Then we call business citizens developers, that are skilled people, usually creating reports or dashboard for the area of their own. There are business users that know their own area, maybe creating reports to themselves or for their team. They can be using the shared data sets that somebody else has done, but usually they are also using Excel as a data source. They might be a little bit frightened about the DAX or row-level security and so on, but they are aware of the sharing methods in the Power BI world. And then there is professionals that are having wide skills in Power BI in many tools. Usually these are the persons creating data sets that others can use, or they are creating these more complicated solutions for larger audience, and they are using these test and development practices. What are the roles for these user groups? We define that the professionals are the ones, sorry, not the roles. What type of people are these in these user groups? End users are the ones that are your internal report viewers, your employees, quite natural. But then you might have also these P2P users if you have enabled that they can utilize your reports or data sets. And then thirdly, if you have these embedded solutions, those kind of viewers are also in this group. For business citizens users, of course, your internal developers, but there can be also these P2P developers doing report creation based on your data. And then the professionals, usually you have some skilled people in your organization, or you can have one or many vendors providing you Power BI solutions as these external consultants. And we are recommending that from these people you could create this kind of center of excellence, combining different kind of skills and sharing the knowledge. And now for the roles. So what kind of roles these kind of users have? Well, usually the professionals they have the admin role in the workspace, but of course the business and citizens developers also might be having that if they are doing something for their team. But for the larger solutions, they are usually the member or contributor role that they are using. And then the end users, the viewer role, or as we recommend, use app for sharing to reports, they would be the app users in this case. And when it comes to embedded solution, it's via this called service principle that is used. So individual user does not have any role. Then now that Fabric is coming, what will be the situation look? You will still have all these things happening in the environment that you have there. You have the same users doing same stuff, but you will now get sort of this Fourth type of user group, a little bit different kind of skills. These can be data scientists, data warehouse professionals that are doing things with a little bit different tools in the same workspace. So you will see different kind of items in the same workspace. And then there will be these domains that you can utilize for different kind of areas in your business. They can have different kind of setups, sort of domains or workspaces for them. And Anna will talk about a little bit more this in her presentation. And then the second question, how to find good data. First of all, agreed development practices. That is a good way to go. And then the endorsements. We've seen that these are not that often maybe used, but these are the ones that you could utilize. There is two types of endorsements. You have a promotion. Any user can do the promotion. There is certain permissions needed, but they can promote some good reports or good data set for other users to see. And from the Power BI service, these users can see that, okay, this was promoted. Maybe I will take a look at this one next. And then the second one is certification, and that is meaning that when somebody is developing a report and data sets, other persons are looking at how this is done. Is this well-performing solution? And then the data set or report will be certified, and after that it can be published to other users to consume. So the guide how to use these endorsements, but also guide the end users about other features in Power BI service, seeing that this is sometimes forgotten that there are these favorites and subscribe possibilities, bookmarks, comments, the One Lake Hub, the newest one. So guide and maybe have a little training about these to your end users. Same goes with the business citizens developers, and for them maybe would highlight that there is also these Teams and Outlook possibilities that you can use to have this collaboration and people to find good data. And for these, we also encourage to tell about the importance of version control so that you would get less problems in the production. These kind of developers may not understand the benefits of the version control. It doesn't have to be complicated, just a SharePoint or OneDrive to have those backups and versions. And then for professional developers, they are the sort of, as the professionals, they use the deployment pipelines, at least test and production workspaces. Usually there is also the development workspace, and the newest feature from deployment pipelines was that you are actually able to create even more stages to these pipelines if needed. And then we encourage to use these shared data sets, nowadays semantic models to get less maintenance work in the environment. And of course, these are the people that can participate, for example, the certified process in your organization. Then related to good data sharing practices, this is a little I see a little complicated area because there is so many ways to do the sharing for the Power BI reports. For end users, we would just highlight that there would be a guidance how to get access, and then of course monitoring the sharing. For business citizens developers, for them, we would say that highlight that the apps is usually the best way to share your reports. If you have really small audience, maybe then you could use the workspace sharing, but maybe it would be easier to have just this unified way of sharing in your organization. And then about the user groups, here I mean, if you have Azure AD groups nowadays, Entra ID, prefer those. It's easier to maintain. And then, of course, again, training and monitoring of the sharing for these users. And professionals, well, they should be knowing these, but if you have these external people doing development, make sure that they are aware or trained about how in your organization the sharing should be done. And of course, these could be the people again in the process of handling new access requests and taking care of if somebody is leaving and how those changes should be done. Then about good data, the security principles and sensitivity labels. Train data security for all of these groups. And then if you have sensitivity labels later on, this is related to this new purview. Anna will talk about a little bit this on her presentation. So you can utilize that kind of feature in the future. And then of course the monitoring. And here is just the same thing for all the training, and maybe just to remind that sometimes cleaning should be done. And here it's maybe the way that the professionals have been onboarded well into your organization if you get new ones creating new solutions. Then lastly, related to good data, naming conventions, templates, and themes. Naming conventions are something that maybe it's not that Power BI related. It should be in overall in your organizations that you would name same thing and use the same name or all of your reports. If you have product or material, choose which one to use and use consistently in all of the reports. You might have some catalog tools already that you can utilize. So this is something that helps end users to read the reports. And for them, maybe some training related to naming conventions and also for other user groups. But especially for business citizens developers, make sure that they would have these templates available so you can create Power BI templates, and that is probably making the development a little bit more quick. And then of course it unifies your report layouts or dashboard layouts so you would not get different kind of things happening and people get confused. And then, of course, the professionals, they should be aware of all of these, and they can help you even further develop those templates and also the JSON theme files that you can handle, for example, the coloring and fonts. If, for example, you need to change the coloring for your reports, these are quite easy way to do it. Then, what about the collaboration? What about knowledge sharing? How can that be done? Again, we have these three groups here, and for end users, again, would highlight the comments feature. Those could be used to do the collaboration between different report users and also with the end user and the developer. And then two type of sort of forums or channels for your internal developers, but maybe you could also enable some forums to gather feedback from your external Power BI users, those P2P report viewers. And then, of course, some forums that you can get these people to talk to each other, share their knowledge, share their insights and what they have done, but also that they could have interaction with the end users. And then thirdly, take in the professionals. These people can help you do the custom trainings, for example, or they could um, show their solutions to others, these business citizens, developers, or end users. And this way, you could get some insights or new ideas. Hey, this kind of solution, we would need this also in this business area within your organization. And of course, these people are the ones that should be following how the Power BI is developing, and they can share the knowledge. And somebody is better in something, and somebody has not noticed something that somebody else has not. So again, those forums to share the knowledge. Then about the competence gathering, trainings, I would say in this section. For the end users, it's more about how to use the service, the Fabric or Power BI service, or if you have embedded solution, it's looking at the functionalities are a little different, the user experience is a little different. So those kind of trainings for end users. Business citizens, developers, for these, again, the version control system that I explained, but at the moment, the desktop training would be the one to have once in a while. There is coming new features, and now it is looking that more and more things are developed by Microsoft to the Power BI service. So at some point, some sort of training about how you can do the development in there would be something we would say that take some time to look at this and include your developers. And then for professionals, here is just the list. As you can see, there is huge amount of different kind of tools that you can utilize when you are doing the Power BI development. Some developers may be using quite many of these, but usually nobody's expert in detail level for all of these. So that's why it's good to have these forums or channels to share the knowledge, the best practices, what has discovered, and so on. So just an example of the list that you should handle when you are a professional Power BI developer. As I was saying, Fabric is now coming, and there will be different kind of tools. You will still have those dataset or data semantic models in the environment. You will have reports. You will have dashboards. But then, now that Fabric is coming, you will have these different kind of items in the same workspace that are now related to Synapse stuff like data warehouse or data science. There can be ETL or these data pipelines done within the same workspace, and then there is coming these new tools like Data Activator for alerts, and then there is Data Factory also here. So pre-prepared that there will be different kind of items in the service workspace. Anna will tell a little bit more about these on her presentation. Then just shortly about Power BI Admin Portal documentation. Have you done it? If not, please do it. And then something about the capacity issues. Here is the slide showing some example questions about the Admin Portal setups. Not all, but these would be the ones that we would start looking when we do these things in customer environment. And the key here is that you will do this as you start using the Power BI, but you should come back to here quite many times within a year, because there is coming new setups, and you need to make the decision that which ones you enable and which ones you don't want to enable. And then, of course, inform your developers and users about the changes and new features. And then shortly about the capacity decisions. These are the areas that we are looking at when something is there that there might be some peaks causing a huge amount of capacity is used because of these peaks, or you can find some not that well designed or developed data sets that are causing problems, or you can have not that well designed pages that have too much going on, or something like that in the environment. So this is just ideas what to look at. There isn't any silver bullet saying that which capacity is the best, but you need to dig into these areas to find if you can do something, and then make the decision if you need to change your capacity level. So this was almost all from my side. Just to wrap up, I have here the areas that we looked through in those slides, and I explained these and why you should be following and checking that your governance model is taking care of all of these, is to mitigate the risks. The risk related to persons, so that individuals you are not that dependent on individuals. You would not have problems in your productions. People have the correct access rights, and of course you can do the monitoring, and you can get the maintenance of the environment is less hard or less consuming. So these kind of things you can mitigate by following these best practices. And lastly, Power BI admin, she or he cannot do everything. So for all of us doing Power BI development, we need to follow some best practices to create well-designed, well-performing solutions. Here is just shortly for you to see what kind of things you should be considering. And again, some why you should be doing this, or why you can ask or demand your developers to do this. Again, mitigate some risk and get better solutions. But that was my part, and now I hand it over to Anna.
Yeah, hello, thanks Reetta. I will just first start my presentation, and yeah, there it goes. Please, can someone confirm that it's good to go?
Yeah, good to go.
Okay, great. So hi guys, hi all, my name is Anna Ranta, working as a technical specialist for data and AI here at Microsoft Finland. And my presentation here is about how to govern and manage all your data in Fabric and beyond. So go a little bit deeper on Fabric features and Microsoft Purview features concerning data governance. And the reason why we are talking about is that, so actually we want to kind of give you a first understanding about what is changing now that Fabric has become generally available. So this happened last week, and so we are just newly in general availability with Fabric. So so without any further explanations, let's start the presentation by introducing Microsoft Fabric. So Reetta mentioned already Fabric, so just to give an update or overview, what are we talking about when we said we are introducing Microsoft Fabric to be generally available for purchase last week. So what is Fabric actually? So it's an end-to-end data analytics platform. It's a cloud service that brings together these different technologies or different services or toolings for data analytics. And so these different toolings, well, starting from the Power BI perspective here first, the Power BI is our tool for business intelligence, but now, besides Power BI, we will have other workloads in the same platform in Fabric. So besides Power BI, we will have this data integration tooling for Data Factory. Then we have like familiar tools from Synapse. We have data engineering tooling, tooling for data warehousing, data science, and real-time analytics. And these have been now retooled for Fabric. And then we have this new tool, Data Activator, for like data observability. And the user interface with Fabric is familiar for those who have been using Power BI. There is the same concept of workspaces and capacities, etc. So it's familiar, but when comparing to Synapse Analytics, for example, then there are some differences because Fabric is a SaaS service, and really you don't need to provision things, and these toolings and things are just available within the Fabric capacity. So there are the Fabric toolings. It's all like built on unified data foundation. So here OneLake, which is like it's for data lake houses, and it's like a standardized on a Delta Parquet file format. It's an open standard format with compression and fast processing. And the idea here is that you can reuse any data within the OneLake and utilize the data with any of these engines or toolings within Fabric. So there is like the minimal need to copy data just for the integration purposes. Like for example, in a Power BI perspective, you can directly connect to OneLake with direct lake connectivity now in Power BI. Well, because it's like an end-to-end analytics platform, it's all the data foundation is unified. Also, the security and governance foundation is unified. So managing data, managing items, like we have this like one security for managing data there, and one way to secure and govern the environment. So like as said, when more and more data become available in Fabric for the business analysts through these different toolings that we have available, yeah, there is the risk of oversharing and unintended use of business critical data that will be growing. And in Fabric, we will provide you visibility on into what is happening in the tenant, and give you tools how to govern and protect your data end to end. And Fabric is it's built. It has also built-in governance and compliance capabilities that are powered by Microsoft Purview. So there comes the new word again. So what is Microsoft Purview? That is our the next topic in this presentation. So what actually is Microsoft Purview then? So here you see on one slider, or what is it about? So the Purview is another comprehensive set of solutions that can help your organization govern, protect, and manage data wherever it lives. So it's kind of like a combination of former Azure Purview and O365, Microsoft 365 compliance solutions and services, so in a unified platform. So this combines solutions for data security, and this is for information and cybersecurity teams. Then we have toolings and features for data governance. This is for data officers, data consumers, and then the risk and compliance features for risk leaders. There's another picture here about the Purview where we like kind of a map of all the features available through Microsoft Purview. So in the middle, you have the data map, data scanning and classification. So kind of there, with this data map, you can create a map of your organization data assets, map their relationships, hierarchies, like classifications and labels. And you will be able to scan or use the data scanning capabilities of Purview to like scan the metadata from the data assets to discover the assets and their lineages and apply classifications and labels. So this is the Purview like governance features including also data catalog. So after you have scanned and classified your data in the data map, then you can use the data catalog for browsing good data in your environment. So kind of what kind of data is available for use. And then there is the data estate insights that's kind of giving a KPI type of reports on what all you have within your data map. And yeah, so there are risk and compliance features as well. So here the data loss prevention, information protection, and auditing capabilities. These are like this coming from the Purview risk and compliance side, and the information protection helps with the sensitivity labeling of data, and that is like a key component here as well. So let's go then further. This is about Purview, Microsoft Purview in a nutshell, and then let's go to the features, governance features in Fabric, and some of them are powered by Purview. So what we have available. So let's go more into that. And here you can see like a list of features included in Fabric. Some of them Purview powered, and some of them requiring additional licensing. Then we have some Purview services also ideal for Fabric, also as seen required additional licensing. So just like here, I want to stop for a moment because the licensing is not on today's agenda. We are not going to discuss about Fabric licensing. We are not going to discuss about these additional licensing requirements that come with the Purview powered features. However, if you want to know more about licensing, so I would suggest not to hesitate, contact Solita. They can help you out. They can guide you with licensing related questions or technical related questions. So whenever you have need to discuss this further, you can contact Solita. And also about just another notice here about the technical features. So as mentioned, Fabric is live now since last week. And I went to the documentation of all these features, and some of these features might still be in a preview. So even if Fabric is GA, not all the features are still like necessarily in general availability. So some of these are preview features, some might still have limitations on, like for example, on what Fabric content they can be applicable to. So the suggestion would be to check out the documentation. We will share the links. Check out the documentation when you're interested in some of these features to see the latest status and what is included. And keep also, you could check out from Fabric blog or Power BI blog to find out the latest and greatest, what are the new announcements there, to stay on track on what is going on. So things are developing quite fast. So that's why I'm saying. So let's go further then to deep dive into these features, or not a deep dive, but a quick run through, because we don't have enough time for a deep dive. But there will be governance features in Fabric for centrally governing and protecting tenant-wide environment. So there is the admin portal with the capacity settings and tenant settings. This is familiar from Power BI, and it's now extended to cover also Fabric items and Fabric capacities. Then we have the capacity metrics, which is like an app that you can install in your environment to get the utilization and usage trends and track those. And this capacity metrics app is also familiar for Power BI from Power BI Premium. And now we have the similar capacity metrics available for Fabric capacities as well. Then we have One Security there. The picture says coming soon, so that's what it is. So it's kind of universal security model we are working on, which will be then later on available, but it's coming soon. So let's not discuss that further because we don't know that any details, a lot of details yet. So, but the domains and workspaces, Reetta mentioned these domains. This is a new concept there with Fabric. So you can group items like lakehouses, warehouses, and reports into workspaces. This we have had already for Power BI, the workspaces, but now you can also group data and workspaces together into domains to create like a federated governed data mesh type of architecture. Okay. Then what we have for data professionals to be able to maintain and create a single source of truth for the data. We have like the endorsements that was covered by Reetta. For Power BI, it's the similar concept for Fabric items. So that's it. We have data lineage and impact analysis tooling. This is in preview for Fabric. So kind of the idea here, why the lineage, it's getting more important as the data processes get more complicated. So because in Fabric we have different toolings, not just Power BI, but really different toolings for different type of data analysis processing. So the lineage can be tracked with this data lineage view, and you can see where for the data project, so where the data is coming from and where it is going to, and covering through all these workspaces where the data is flowing. And it's a good tool to like, for example, to do impact analysis. So what's going to change if I change something in my data process? So in that way. And the metadata scanning here, it's for extracting information, metadata from the Fabric environment. And well, you can then use this extract, for example, if you want to feed the data to like a third-party data catalog solution, or create some like data managing processes on top of the data. A few words about the Purview-powered security and compliance features for protecting your data within Fabric and OneLake. So here you see the Microsoft Purview information protection. It allows you to discover, classify, and protect Fabric data using sensitivity labels from Microsoft Purview information protection. These sensitivity labels can be set on all Fabric items, and data remains protected when it's exported via supported export paths. Compliance admins can monitor activities on sensitivity labels in Microsoft Purview Audit. Then about the data loss prevention and about automatically detecting the upload of sensitive data. These data loss prevention policies, they are currently supported in Fabric for Power BI dataset or semantic models only. And you can use it to detect upload of sensitive data into semantic models. Yep. Then about the auditing, Purview Audit. Finally, Fabric is also integrated with Microsoft Purview Audit, which provides Fabric and compliance admins with end-to-end auditability of Fabric activities. So these were the Purview-powered security and compliance features. Then we have like governance features also in Purview, just to like give like an end-to-end visibility over the Fabric data. So here you can start free with a trial version available of Purview. So you can use to try out the data map and data catalog features. However, currently only Power BI items can be scanned within the Fabric tenants. There is a Purview Hub though, which in public preview. This is in Fabric. So for easily accessing to all these Purview capabilities, we have created a centralized page called the Purview Hub, which is currently in public preview, which serves as a gateway to Purview and contains insights about item inventory, sensitive data, and endorsements. And this Purview Hub is available at least for Fabric admins then. All right. Last question, what if I need to expand the governance beyond Fabric? So we discussed the features that we have in Fabric and then some powered by Purview, but what if I need to expand the governance beyond? Then we have the Purview data governance solutions that or data governance features that can help with that. So I mean, now this includes, the purview includes unified data governance solutions, not only for Fabric, but also they can help you manage your on-premises, multi-cloud and software as a service data. And in the Purview governance portal, you can, for example, create a holistic up-to-date data map of your data landscape with automated data discovery, sensitive data classifications, and end-to-end data lineage. And you can enable data curators and security administrators to manage and keep your data estate secure. And yeah, empowering data consumers to find valuable and trustworthy data. So that's it. Coming to the last slide of my presentation, we will be sharing links after this presentation, so no need to try to write it down from here. But you know, valuable links would be the Fabric governance and Purview integration documentation, or Fabric governance documentation altogether, to find the latest what is available for the Purview and Fabric governance features that we discussed today. And also latest announcement, Fabric blog site, and then there is another like Power BI blog site that similarly that would be interesting or interesting to follow if you want to stay on track on what is happening and what new is coming. Okay, with that, thank you on my behalf, and can switch over to Jenny, I guess.
Thank you, Reetta and Anna. I think that you had great content in your presentations. We have now a few minutes left, so we can take few questions, at least one. First question may be for Reetta. How could we share the path for users to find guidance?
Yeah, you could have the guidance in different kind of places, for example, this PDF or just sites or something. Maybe you could, well, I've been preferring that when I create reports, I have this info type of page in the report for the end user, and maybe you could put the path or the link in there so that it's quite near for the user. And then comes up another place. I think there is in the admin portal tenant settings, there is this place that you can have these links that appear in the Power BI service homepage, so that you could utilize also that one.
Thank you. The second question is, what permissions the user must have to be able to deploy items using deployment pipelines?
Yeah, of course, if you are a workspace admin, that would be the highest level of permission, but then you can have a little bit less privileges, and then you could use the member role, and those can also deploy items in the deployment pipelines.
Great. One question is about Power BI capacity metrics. It says that the problem is that the data is only available for the last 14 days. Do you, Anna, have any suggestions for possible workarounds on tracking historical utilization usage?
That's a great question. I need to check what we have available. I recall we have had like some possibilities to track at least something from the XML endpoint for the Power BI data sets, but from capacity point of view, I'm not sure that we have these logging features yet available, but I can check that one, and maybe I don't know how to provide the answers. We have like 1 minute time. So, but
yeah, but maybe we can, when we are sending this recording, we can answer in the same mail
we
for
can do it.
that question.
But I think that the log analytics for Power BI is something to look at. I'm not sure whether it covers this, but this is the feature that I would start looking at if I would like to understand more that what can be tracked and logged.
Yeah, great. And I think that from Azure, you are able to see more than that 14 days already. So if you are checking capacity status from there. But yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We say thank you for all participants. We had over 100 participants online during this webinar, and here you can find our contact info. Feel free to get in touch if you have any further questions or worries or so. But thank you, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you from my side. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.